I was quite curious to check out the Peanuts movie for several reasons. The first is that it's been really well received. It's got 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. That's across 42,000 reviews. And the other reason I wanted to watch it is that I've never seen Peanuts. I've never seen Snoopy. I've never seen Charlie Brown cartoons. I don't really know why, because I grew up in the 90s and it was still quite a popular thing with 90s kids. So I'm not sure why it kind of bypassed my entire childhood, but I was just curious to check it out and see what it was like. And I have to say, there are a lot of things about this that I thought were done very well. So this was released in 2015, directed by Steve Martino, with screenplay by Bryan Schulz and Craig Schulz, with a pretty great cast, including Noah Schnapp, which I think may be one of the pull factors for today's younger audience, as well as Kristen Chenoweth and a bunch of other names that I kind of recognise. The voice acting is great in this, that has to be said. But what I love most about this is the animation quality. And that's a little weird for me, because normally with a film, I look for a narrative, and I need a narrative that's compelling to be entertaining. I am narrative driven. Some people prefer narratives, some people prefer, the cinematography and the visual quality. But for me, it's all about the narrative, but oddly not with this one. So I'll read the description from IMDb so you can get a little idea of what the narrative's actually about. Snoopy embarks upon his greatest mission as he and his team take to the skies to pursue their arch-nemesis, while his best pal Charlie Brown begins his own epic quest back home to win the love of his life. And we do have this lovely sentimental bit quite near the beginning where Charlie Brown wants to talk to this new girl, but he feels like he's a nobody and she's a somebody and he can't possibly talk to her. And I think that, that's quite a shame, and it's something that's really nice for younger children, or even just anybody, really, to realise that actually they're not a nobody and they can talk to anybody, even if that somebody is a somebody. So there are lots of little, nice messages peppered throughout this, not forced in your face, but certainly there to be perceived. And that's always going to be a bonus when it's a children's film. But I also feel like this is a great family-friendly film. So as I said, the narrative itself was cute. The execution was fine. But it's not why I like this film. I like this because of the animation style. It's very bizarre because on the one hand, it's very sharp, it's bright, it's attractive. The colours are crisp, the imagery is really strong and beautiful. And the animation design is great, the movement's brilliant. I have absolutely zero complaints. And at the same time, this is from 20th Century Fox Animation, so we knew it was going to be good. But although they bring this into the 21st century with crisp, clear images, they also retain the beauty of the 80s animation style, and they haven't overly modernised the characters. There are some aspects of it that look placed. For example, quite early on, when they wake up in the morning, there's an alarm clock, and you can tell that it looks fake, but it works. That's the beauty of this. It looks animated. They're not trying to make it look too over the top or CGI, which a lot of things do nowadays. So I think they've done an absolutely fantastic job, and I don't really care that I'm not the target audience. As I said, I've never seen Snoopy or Charlie Brown. I didn't really know any of the characters. The narrative's not for me, but visually it's great. If I were to ever have a child, or if I'm with a child and they wanted to watch a film, I would say this is a really safe, comfortable, friendly film that the child will enjoy and benefit from. But also as an adult viewer, there are a lot of artistic things in this that can be appreciated, a lot of things from an art perspective that are really enjoyable. It's a really gorgeous film to look at. I love the dialogue. The voice acting's great. The quality of the animation is stunning without over-modernising a classic. I think they've done a really good job in that aspect. Obviously, I have nothing to compare it to, but I am familiar with the illustration design of the original characters. So from my amateur Charlie Brown perspective, I really liked it. I'd love to know what you think of it and whether or not you were a fan before or a fan after. Will I explore other Charlie Brown things? Maybe I will. I still don't think I'm the target audience, but certainly I enjoyed the time spent watching the Peanuts movie.